I want to talk to you a little bit about DIY versus professional. Of course, the DIY, that's the lowest level, just like Thomas said, is to use your cell phone. But if you wanted to do a live stream, invest in your own equipment, invest in your own people. A couple of things to think about with that is that if you're going live all the time, and you feel like you're going to need to go live really on a consistent basis and you feel like you can save money, it's a good idea to talk and consult with somebody like Thomas to see what would I need to spend to get started to reach my goals when you think about your goals. And you do need a team that does this consistently. There are a lot of changes. You really have to get used to it. Even teams that do full production video, a lot of times within a company, they don't want to do live streams. They can be stressful. You do need to do them all the time because these platforms that you use can also change. So you need to stay abreast. You need to be able to use a team. And then you can even do a hybrid. You could invest in some equipment and a studio and have that set up and then bring in a crew. So there's a lot of different things that you can do, but it's always a good idea. Thomas and I do consulting, and we can work with people all over the country. So just know that before you start to think about making a huge investment, and some people buy the wrong cameras or buy things that don't work to meet their needs, it is a good idea to talk to somebody first and at least get a handle on what those costs are so you can look at it yourself. So I do want to show the planning graphic one more time. When you start to think about a live stream, you do want to think about your goals for this live stream. What is the end goal for that live stream? Is it to educate your audience? Is it to give your sponsors a greater value, as people are looking at now taking their events from in person to online? A lot of people are thinking, especially with nonprofits, we had this huge gala and maybe it's the biggest fundraiser of the year and now we can't have it and now we're going to miss out on all that. So I'm a big believer and felt like even before all this happened that you should both go have your event and take it online at the same time. Some people say, oh gosh, no one will show up if they could watch online. Totally not true. We've seen over and over and over again with our clients that there's more excitement. People want to see the video as soon as people who attended want to see the video the next day. Your sponsors get so much more value because it's a huge audience that's seeing that. And then the participants watch it over and over again. Takes nothing away but builds a lot. But now that you're in this situation where you can't have the gala, you really want to think about taking this online. So you want to think about all your goals. Is your goal to bring everybody together online? Do you want to share information? Do you want a certain number of attendees? Do you want to create excitement? How do you give your sponsors, your attendees, and your organization the most that you can get from a live stream, both on the night, the promotion leading up to it, and then when it's over, the impact that you can make with the video and maybe editing those videos into small pieces like you would do for an award ceremony. So I do want to show a video. We did not actually do this, but I heard from a colleague of mine that a lot of people are going to these online auctions. And instead of just skipping the gala altogether, they are putting it out online, which is a great idea and goes to a question that we have from a nonprofit that's asking, how do we do this sort of thing? So here, of course, they could bring in their logo the entire time. That's easy to do with the software, just like Thomas mentioned. So they're asking people to enter their bids on this online auction. And you can see how the enthusiasm and excitement of the guests and the recognition that they can give people, and everybody was alive on that online chat on YouTube, and so they were taking part in it. And there's no webinar that can mimic what they do. So I think that this is a great idea to take your nonprofit events online. You could even do, I talked to an animal charity and I said, why not have a vet come on and answer people's questions? Maybe you have maybe you don't want a shelter dog, or you can't, but you have tons of questions. And then you say, hey, can you appreciate the fact that we had a vet here for, half an hour to answer your questions? Make a donation. So there's a lot of different ideas that you can do to incorporate online giving to recognize people who won awards that maybe you can't have that award ceremony. We had a contact from a keynote speaker who said, they're going to cancel my event, and some people are doing webinars, but I'd rather be able to engage with people and present on camera. And so I think there's so many applications for live streaming. I do want people here listening to this today to think about this. probably every brand at some point will have their own online show, almost like a television show. Are you going to be ahead of that or just behind it? So it will happen. There's no doubt. There's so much power in live streaming.